to Tragedy of Theologian, a game where we play sometimes, and we are today. So don't, AJ, why are you laughing? How dare you?
No, I'm dying.
Oh, don't die. Don't die, you're so sexy.
Two different things, yep.
Consumption.
So last time on Tragedy of Theologian, some stuff happened. And it was, a good time for some of us, and not for others. We'll start with, we are missing, Dylan today, but that is okay. Hopefully we'll be back next time. But we'll start with who we started with last time, just as a kind of rundown. Kazimir had ended up in his afterworld, which was essentially the fields of Persephone, that were beautiful and luscious and golden, where Kazimir started noticing that all of the people that lived there, were kind of out of it the entire time. But he did find out that Persephone lived there, so began to go through the orchards to go find Persephone, and was maybe a little distracted by a pomegranate, which, it wouldn't hurt to just, have one. After that, we went to Tartarus, where Mena and Noemi are currently. They found that there's no way out directly, so the best way to figure the way out is to go in. Nesmine did not have any more information at that moment. However, as they began to fly over Tartarus, Mena heard a voice and said, yeah, let's go there to the Obsidian Palace, or the Obsidian Buildings. And that's maybe where they're going to be headed. Caleo was out on their lonesome at a crossroads and began to hear some form of echoing, to which a very large, very terrifying being immediately, once they were noticed, began to get a little cranky. What were you saying? Wait, you're muted.
That's the point.
Okay. You're gonna make me read? How dare you? But after trying to head towards one of the pathways, after losing 80% of their health, Caleo has stopped, realizing that this just might be a part of him. And lastly was Ragna, who had Enigma on his shoulder, and ended up in a dark sandbox, which essentially was a lot of trial and error of trying to figure out what this area was, to which they were fundamentally building together. And they even created a little version of what they thought Hades looked like. But we left with that. I'm going to roll a d6 between the three who we are going to go over really today. So who wants to be number one? Okay.
Me.
Number two? Okay. And then Ragnar would be number three. And then, yeah. No, you get to be 3 and 6. There's a way around this. Hey, Andre, you're starting again. Yay. All right.
Thank God.
We did it. We're just probably going to go in the same direction we went last time. Okay. So, you have a beautiful, juicy, red, luscious pomegranate in your hand. It is fragrant. It's stunning. It's to the point where you never really thought about fruit smelling this good and this fragrant. And you're feeling like you're feeling inclined to have some. What do you want to do?
Uh, I don't know if do I have a choice? I feel like I'm compelled to eat this.
You are compelled, but you still have some agency. I mean,
Okay.
it's just your hand and your brain are not really on the same process. So your hand is like, ooh, hold on.
My brain is going to try and remove itself from the situation and try and look at the pomegranate. Is there anything distinctive about this pomegranate? Does it feel like from this other like plane of existence, or is it just kind of like a pomegranate?
I will let you make a roll. If you want to use nature, survival, I'm not going to say history because, as we've confirmed, this is the first time you've really been face to face with a pomegranate. But if you'd
Yeah.
like to use history based off of what you've heard of a pomegranate,
Well, I think I shall use survival then.
cool.
Um, oh boy. College is rolling really good right now. That's a 9.
A 9. You have, like we've said, you've not seen or held a pomegranate before. So you've heard about them, you kind of understand. I was going to say, you've probably like had pieces of like pomegranate juice in things, but not ever the fruit by itself in front of you. So it's hard to tell if there's anything exactly wrong with it. Um, but it looks like it is at its prime in harvest. It looks like it's a perfect specimen of a pomegranate based off of what you know of a pomegranate.
Can I when Kosh is going to like rip it open.
Mm-hmm.
Uh so the inside is like seeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, um, I will have you, while I'm explaining this, roll me another wisdom save. As you open the pomegranate, you can feel it split in your hands. It doesn't take too
Guidance.
much force. You can't! Where
I
are
can't
you? Not
guidance. I'm
there!
so far away from you. I'm in another
Guidance, but like
existence.
mentally.
Yeah. But like with feeling.
You feel like your roll should be better.
Okay.
Um,
That's much
you open it.
better.
Oh, good. I'm glad your guidance worked, Death.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
the guidance work.
Um,
Thanks so much.
so you open this pomegranate. It has 12 seeds. It has a very specific number of seeds in it. 6 on one side, 6 on the other. But as you open it, what was your roll?
I got a 17.
That's very good. You don't feel inclined to just eat. However, the fragrance is really intoxicating. And the idea of eating these pomegranate seeds still, it sounds good. This looks delicious. It looks really good, but you're not feeling forced to try to eat this or so inclined to do so.
Hmm. I think Kaj is going to like pick the seeds. um, Not eat them, but just like I don't think he would understand that you're supposed to eat the seeds. I think he would just
Yeah.
take the seeds and like just remove them, thinking you're supposed to eat like the flesh of the pomegranate.
Right.
The rind, yeah. I don't think
You
he's eating it yet. I think he's just like, well, this is just the seeds, so I'm gonna get rid of these.
do you just throw them on the ground, or what do you do with them?
I think he will just hold them in one hand.
Okay. Do you take all 12, or how many do you take with you?
Yeah, I think he would just remove them all.
Okay. You have 12 very. You could feel it's hard like a kernel at one point, but it also has a little bit of give. Uh, like there's juice on the other end of these seeds. But now you have the rinds with 6 pits on each side of where the seeds were before. It's very pale. The shell of it is hard, and the inside of it is very similar to, like, I guess the closest you would know would be like an orange rind.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily look appetizing. It still smells great, but it's hard, and then there's just rind.
Just gonna poke it. Is it like tough?
No, not like necessarily so. There's flexibility in it.
I think Kaj is just going to like put everything back down. He was like, I don't understand how this works. Just
So where are you putting? One, explain everything, and two,
okay.
where are you putting that?
Okay. So I have the seeds in one hand and the fruit in the other that has been ripped into those two halves. Okay.
Mhm.
We are putting the seeds like not placing them back in, just like kind of just pouring them back in, closing it, and then going to like put it at the base of the tree.
Um, you you go to put it down on the ground,
Mhm.
and then you hear, "Oh, you gonna eat that?" And you see behind you one of the halflings who's staring at the fruit as you're putting it down. Yeah, you gonna eat that, or you just gonna put it on the ground?
It's yours if you want it. I was just
So they'll
inspecting.
they'll take it from you very quickly, and they'll open it, and they'll see that you've already picked all the seeds out. Leaning their head back, they basically just pour all the seeds into their mouth, and you just see their shoulders drop, and you see their like, it's a mixture of like a suckle sound and like a chewing sound. Like it's something that has to be really careful around these seeds, but you see them eating the seeds. But they just immediately like, oh my god, and just are fully entranced by it.
These drugs.
No. A fruit. A pomegranate.
Okay. And we'll just kind of like leave that that halfling alone. I'm just like, you're having a great time. I'm not gonna disturb you. I'm not gonna yuck your yum. Um,
A real winners don't use drugs mentality, Kazimir.
I
Yeah,
want a shirt
yeah.
so bad that says, "Are these drugs?" And
These
it's
drugs.
just a pomegranate.
Yeah. Um, Kosh is just gonna move on. Just continuing to try and look for Persephone. I think that's still his goal. He just got distracted a little bit. Um, do we've discussed that like the orchard is very specifically where Persephone like works, lives, communes.
That's where you know she is right now, because you
Right
were given
now.
directions to where they saw her last.
Okay. Um, I think Kaj is gonna climb a tree. Climb a tree and try and look out over the orchard. Are you doing math? 800 pounds plus pomegranate tree.
There's
How
no way
heavy
this
is
fucking
the average?
trees.
How
There's
heavy
no-
is the average bear? You know, you gotta just
Yeah.
and then multiply that by 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no way a pomegranate tree is gonna hold you. I'm looking at
Damn.
this, and I'm
Damn.
like,
Okay.
it
I think
bundles so far at the bottom, and then it branches out. I feel like it would just be a situation would be like climb, climb, climb,
yeah.
and then
Okay.
snap.
I think if that's the situation, if that's what a pomegranate tree, I've never seen a pomegranate tree. If that's what pomegranate trees are, I think Kaj would know not to climb it.
They're barely trees, dude.
So
Yeah.
fucking weak.
I
F-tier
had a
plant.
I had a pomegranate tree growing up. They're fucking weak.
I never thought I'd shit talk a tree before in my life, but that's
You know that tree is so fucking weak, dude.
fucking based ass
So
tree.
D tier tree.
honestly, yeah. Because the leaves aren't even that pretty either.
Damn, getting fucking dunked on
Sorry to my
pomegranate trees.
pomegranate trees, but
Damn,
At
Persephone,
least-
how'd you fall for this shit when it looks like this? Goddamn.
When a
Pomegranate,
handsome
like
man
pomegranate,
hands you a
right?
pomegranate, and you're hungry.
Damn.
Damn, you even give me a strong fruit like an apple? Damn, this is wrong. It's fucked up.
Let me.
some
There are
myths
other
they
trees.
were apple seeds.
Hmm.
There are other trees around here, so I can see what other
If there's
trees may
another tree
support.
that is
Greek
strong,
tree.
I will climb
Climb
that
on a
tree.
mulberry tree. Those bitches fucking huge.
A what tree?
A
Mulberry.
mulberry tree.
What's that tree that explodes vicious vines and spines at you?
What?
There's a tree in like South America or South Africa. I can't remember which one. That's like
Oh
if
yeah.
you get too close to it, the little tiny spines on it sense your presence and explode out at you.
It's
That's
scary.
crazy. Love that shit.
Terrifying.
I think
Love
I
funky
think
plants.
I think an apple or an orange tree could possibly hold your weight. I'm trying to find one that's more.
Don't grow that big, do they?
I know, but he's tall. He's just trying to get some like
your
area, but the
advantage.
Some height.
trunk is like heavier. So I'm thinking the one trunk may be better than the slightly deviated. I'm trying to find others. Maybe a plum tree is not as good. I'm trying to think of all the fruits that would be there. Hang on, let me think. Strongest orchard tree. Hold on. Strongest.
I gave you a tree. I grew up with a mulberry tree. Those bitches grow to like 15 feet tall. I climbed one all the time as a kid.
Oh, it's called a dynamite
I
tree.
know my fruit trees. I grew up in a fucking fruit farm agricultural town area.
I'm learning so much about you. I almost want to like keep ignoring it so you tell me more about you.
Wow.
I'll just mute myself. That's fine.
No!
That's I just want to keep gaslighting you so you keep giving me information.
No, I did pull up a mulberry tree. They would absolutely have berry trees there, so I think that makes sense. And like pretty much any fruit you could think of would be there. So we're going to say a mulberry tree.
I'm looking.
I do need you to make a check to climb it though.
Oh, okay. Just like athletics.
Yeah, athletics is fine.
You slip
Oh,
and
easy.
fly off into space.
27.
Oh, yeah, not an issue. You get there, you get to the top, or the top of where you can be, because of course there are branches that won't support you. But you get to where you can be, and you're about like the top of the tree hits about here. So from here up, you're good. With advantage, I'd like you to roll me a perception or investigation to
Ooh.
try to find Persephone or an area
That's-
where she might be.
With advantage, that's a 26.
Oh fuck yeah!
Andre, sorry. By the way, your mic's not being picked up in Google Meets. It's not getting any.
Oh my god!
Can't believe you.
I'm gonna die. Oh, I have to reload. Hold on. AJ, you have to be ready.
Now I'm just thinking of like depth lore where I'm like, I wonder if the peacocks also climb the mulberry trees and just were like
I am
high as hell and like
testing.
yeah.
Why
You're
is it
muted.
saying mic not found? The mic
You're
is
still
right
muted.
here.
They climbed our gum trees more than anything because they're taller.
This is so stinky.
It's so sticky. I'm so sorry.
Fuck. Settings. We're doing it live, gang.
That's fine.
We're troubleshooting like pros. Okay, devices. Nope. System sound. Output is Yeti. Input is Yeti. That was the problem. Let's try it again.
Also, thank you, Christian, for the out of context GIF memes. They're
Nice.
very good.
Thank you.
While we're waiting, if you're looking for other things to support, if you haven't done it throughout the weekend, go to what is it, Telltale?
Telltale Hearts. TALETTELLHERTS. For the
Oh,
Star
there.
Wars Weekend BIPOC TTRPG event. It is a 4-day charity event for the Marsha P. Johnson Institute to help support a Black trans youth in being able to be safe and to live their life as they deserve to live it in a safe and healthy environment. And it was like 9 games for 40 50 BIPOC creators in the CTRPG space. We even had a all Spanish game, and it was done completely in Spanish.
Sick.
That raised a big chunk of money. They are currently playing a game right now. They're using the Alien system. So
Ooh, that's cool.
very, very cool.
Okay, am I coming through? Okay, great. I had to switch from Firefox to Chrome.
Nice.
Cool.
Damn.
You asked me a question or something?
Yeah, well you rolled really good for investigation or
Yeah, I
perception.
rolled a 26
Yep.
for a perception.
Perfect. So you're looking over this, and in reality, the orchards go forever. Like you look one way, you can see where the fields are. However, looking the other directions, just like the rest of this plane, it's like things are both close and far away at the same time. But you start looking towards the direction you were told to go to, and you do see an area that seems to have more sunshine pointing towards it. Additionally, the trees, the everything here, fruit, it is bountiful. However, the area where the sun seems to be hitting harder is almost overflowing. Like it's most successful in that area. You can assume based off of what you know that there's a high likelihood that's the direction that you were supposed to go and where she would be.
I'm going that way then. As I'm walking through, I think Kaj is going to continue looking at the other residents of the orchard, seeing if they are all kind of just like eating just fruit endlessly and kind of just in this daze, or if there's anyone else who's like awake, you know, like cognizant, I guess.
Everyone here seems, even through their eating, they seem to be cognizant. They seem to be present. They just seem to also be overindulging without repercussion. So you're seeing people just double fisting fruit. But they don't seem to be like sick or ill from it. They seem to be having a good time. But everyone that you get close enough to, who is currently eating or seems to be a resident here, has that kind of haze over their eyes.
Interesting. Okay. I think Kaj is just going to keep moving towards the little glade that he had seen.
Sounds good. You get to the glade, and it's fairly open. It doesn't seem like there's anyone like standing guard or doing anything that you think that the queen of the underworld, a goddess, there's no protection like you would think they would need. But rather instead, you just see tables and areas overflowing with fruit and grain and veggies, and then cooked pastries and items using this. So it doesn't seem that there's any like meat products, but rather anything that could be used using grain, using veggies, using fruit. Anything made with the combination of those seems to be made on the tables, while there's also the raw, pure ingredients. There are quite a few people, a lot of halflings, like I stated before. But there are minotaurs, people of every kind here, but in this area, basically halflings, who are indulging, having a good time, partying, laughing as you're hearing there's music. And you see a throne that's fairly modest. It seems to be overflowing and created from a stump of a tree that is carved to be a small throne, but it is overflowing with flowers and vegetation, and it looks almost comfortable based off of the clovers. Like the clovers are the cushion for this. And you see a halfling that looks very similar to the statues and the iconography that you're used to. Say 2.5 feet tall. Her skin is a bit darker. It looks a little sun-kissed from her tan normally due to the sun. She is wearing dresses and robes of bright, beautiful pastel colors. There are flowers adorned everywhere. Her hair is this beautiful, thick texture with 2 large braids coming down the front that are just adorned in flowers and clovers with vines wrapping between them. Pieces of like, not twine, but like tinsel in between as well. Like she's completely adorned. And a crown atop her head that doesn't quite match the rest of her boisterous and bright and beautiful, just optimistic and positive demeanor. But the crown is made of bone, rather. It's almost jagged and sharp, but it does have flowers adorned to it, but rather than the poppies and lilies and daisies and just springtime flowers you find, these are more shaded flowers typically. So small, dark, typically flowers found resulting towards or near death or funeral rites. But she doesn't seem to change anything else other than wearing that crown. And you hear an excited laugh as she's clapping her hands, watching the halflings dance and have a great time. And you see freckles all over her cheeks and then up to her forehead, centered on her chin, and her eyes open from being like closed, little crow's feet on the sides of each of her eyes from her smiles and almost permanent smile lines on her cheeks. And you see two different colors of eyes. You see one that's this bright blue, stunning, almost like a springtime sky, a clear sky after a rainbow, literally the perfect skyline that you would look up to. And then the other eye is white. And it seems to be not, the life isn't pulled from it, but you see a haze, almost like someone who, the best way to describe it, I suppose, is there was color in the iris that was drained from lack of life. So it's more white and gray and has that haze over it. And as she smiles bright and wide, you see there is a very large gap between her two front teeth.
Cute. I don't know how Kaj would move through this space because he's never been very good at a party. I think he's going to hover around the table with the food and kind of just take note of like all the different kind of culinary delights on the table. There's salads and fruit platters and little. I imagine someone has like a full like Copacabana like headdress thing on, you know.
Yeah.
Someone's got like the coconut shell bra.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I think Kazimir is sort of like entranced by how Persephone, because he's only ever seen like paintings or sculptures of Persephone. So to see her like so like alive is really interesting. And like the movement, I think, is the thing that's really like capturing his eye right now. And is she saying much else besides kind of just cheering and clapping?
Um, Not too much more. She's mostly focused on the presentation in front of her. She's focusing on that rather than drawing attention to herself, other than like like positive expletives and like cheers and like boosting languages that aren't much more than just like a hurrah or a yes. I do say I do want to say as you draw closer, the color of her hair is very dark. It almost has kind of a red tint to it, but it's, when you look at it when it's out of the sun, dark brown. But as you're coming closer, the things that you're noticing that are the biggest differences, is that she does look a little less perfect than she does in typical paintings and sculptures. Her cheeks are rounder. She has those wrinkles, the smile lines, things that weren't necessarily present in her perception of her.
Mhm.
She looks more humanoid. She looks more human, more alive. Her eyes, when you had worshipped her, when you had iconography of her, statues, photos, or not photos, but like paintings, her eyes were never two different colors. Now that you're drawing closer, you do see that there is one large white streak coming through to one side of her braid. It's not a huge chunk. You do have to get closer to see it. But you were seeing it on the same side as the
White eye.
graying. Yeah. the hazy eye. You're seeing that occur. And typically when you've seen her in your world, your realm, where she was a highlight, when she was the goddess of the underworld and the goddess of spring, even if they were two in the same, when she was down in the underworld and when she was the other, she almost had two very different airs. You see those two are kind of mixed and
Fused.
combined in this, rather than having two very separate.
Like personas.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I think Kaj is going to kind of slowly rotate towards the throne, like kind of skirting along the edge of the wall. Obviously not trying to get in the middle of like the dance or anything. And then like sidle up next to Persephone. And can I make like some kind of check to see if she would, if like what her kind of like vibe is about being called like Lady Persephone or anything? Like, do I think she would like want more formal recognition or for more just casual calling or just Persephone? Do you know what I like? Should I like what kind of
Yeah.
check do you think that would be?
Insight.
Okay. Ugh. I mean that's still an 11. That's not terrible.
It's not terrible. The way that you're seeing this set up is like a small court. So you are seeing tables with feasts, but a big space in the middle. She still has a throne. She's still wearing a crown. It's almost like this presentation is entertainment for her. However, she seems to be a lot more lax about the situation. So it's honestly kind of a 50-50. So it's not easy to discern. However, she doesn't seem like the kind of person that will get really mad unless you royally mess up.
Yeah. Like like I wouldn't go up to her and be like, "Hey bitch." Like that would be like terrible.
Kashmir, hello bitch.
Hello bitch. um No, I think Kaj is going to kind of like sidle up to the side of the throne and just say, "Excuse me."
You see the clapping, and then she hears you. And you see her put her hand up to pause for a moment as the finale is starting. And these halflings, I forgot to mention, God, there's so much wine everywhere.
Oh, sure.
Need wine everywhere. So you are seeing these like groups of halflings and gnomes, people of similar sizes, starting the finale of this to where they start to stack up on one another like some odd little cheerleader pyramid and ultimately fumble, fall apart, and roll onto the ground.
Cute.
To which she doubles over, leans back, and you see her kicking her feet in this laughter. Before she just goes, honestly, that is the best try you've had yet. Come back again in I don't know, go practice. Go eat. Just go have fun. Thank you. And like she's trying to stay very sincere while also losing her shit about them just falling. But this seems to be common. Like this her saying good try, do it again later can make you assume that this is a typical performance that happens in Cycle, especially how everyone gets up and just kind of brushes off like it's not a big deal.
Cool.
And then she'll turn to you. Go, I'm so sorry about that. I apologize. Now, you are, and just up and down. You are a big one. Large. How can I help? And she's going to give you a little tap on the arm.
My name is Shamir. And
Oh, speak up. Speak. I can't hear you from all the way down here.
my name is Kazimir. And I'm not dead.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that in a while.
My crew and I were in the underworld, and we all went through doors. Yeah, hold on. What is Depp saying? Depp, say it out loud. What do you mean, no? Why not? God. Through a door. We're running out of time.
She's gonna look behind her, like, see if someone's trying to help you.
Josh pulls out his note cards for her speech.
Hello, my name is Kazimir, and I am a junior explorer, and I am needing a Persephone patch.
Oh my god. We're running out of time. I forgot what we were doing.
Oh no! Hey! Come here, big guy. Come here. And she's gonna tap.
Meeting with Hades.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Guys, it's been a long time. We've been looking for this fucker for ages. I'm so sorry to disturb you, but my party and I, we came from from Gaia to ask to see your husband, Hades.
Uh-huh.
Why did we want to see Hades?
Honey, pull up your note cards. Hold on.
Because of the.
Wait.
Okay. So we saw Hades when we were going through the gates of judgment. And Hades went and pilfered through Caleo's head and said, okay, if you can get to me, you have a meeting with me. And it is to discuss the prophecy, because the prophecy mentions something about the true king's courage, because Hades is the firstborn of the brothers.
Composure.
So that
He
makes
also
it
stole part of me.
Okay.
He also stole Echo.
Thank you very much. It's been so
He has a
long.
piece of my
Forgot
friend.
Everything.
He has a piece of my soul, kind of. I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so my party and I, we are trying to stop or understand the prophecy, and we believe there is a prophecy about the end of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, great.
Mhm.
So part of that is that there's a true king in it, and we believe that it may have to do with your husband Hades, who one of our party members, Caleo, had a meeting set up of just get to him, and we could have the meeting, but he's not with me, so I don't really know what to do about that. But he also has part of my friend's soul, but he's also not here, so I don't know what else to do.
Oh, honey, you're just missing all your friends, aren't you?
They all went different places. I don't know where they are.
Oh, sweetheart, come here. And same thing. She's gonna pat the little stump right next to her. It's very short, but she's like, come here. your knees are up to your chin.
Yeah.
Like your hunch, it's very small. But she'll stand on her throne. You'll see her two braids practically go down to her feet. They're very long. And she'll stand and then she'll kind of put her hand out and give you a pat on the head. Honey, you sound stressed. You just I think you need to relax for just a second. If you got a meeting with Hades, that's fine. I can get you in with Hades. That's no problem. Happy wife, happy life, am I right? And then she's gonna give you a little elbow nudge.
Nudge, nudge, nudge.
Oh, honey, you don't
I
understand.
think it's more like it's not a nudge. It's like drilling. It's like a jab or something.
She gives you a look. Honey, you don't understand the lick of things, do you? No, that's okay. No, that's fine. You know what? It is fine. You just need to relax. You are tense. You are you're in the underworld and you're alive. I can tell because you don't have the
Yeah,
you don't,
I have a question.
sure.
If I eat the fruit,
Uh-huh.
do I stay here?
Depends on how much of the fruit you eat.
Oh. What about the outside?
That would be part of the fruit. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you hungry?
Ooh.
Oh, honey. I should get you away from here then, because I'm gonna be honest. If you eat this, I don't know how much you know about me, but I'm here some of the times, not all the time. Come on. And she's gonna hop off. She's gonna grab your very large hand, with her very small one, and then go, all right, everyone, you go have fun. I will be back eventually. Go have a good time. She looks to see if she has a sundial. She doesn't know how long it's gonna take. Hello?
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 Ah.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yay.
She doesn't know how long this is gonna take. Alright, so I'm gonna have you come with me. We're gonna go to the palace and we're gonna make sure to avoid all the food. So then you don't get hungry, because last thing I need for you to do as a living is to come down here and be stuck here half the time, because I don't think the same rules apply for you as they did for me. Because it's not so easy to just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's not easy for me either, but that is a whole other can of worms we are not getting into right now. And then she's just pulling you along.
Okay. How strong is her grip?
Strong.
Oh, okay.
You can feel in her hand, that she is clutching to you. She's not like squeezing, she's not like pushing hard, but she is pulling you. So it's just enough to make sure you follow along. However, that grip is substantial already.
Gotcha. Okay, so no food to your palace? You have a palace here?
It's just a little one. I mean, I got that big one with Hades, but like I get summer home, but not summer home because my summer home's technically on Gaian, but summer home away from home.
What is your summer home on Gaian?
That is for me to know, and for you not to know, because I know you're going back up there. And if you go there when I'm not there, then you're just going to see my mother, and that is not something I would highly recommend.
Demeter? Is she not cool?
She is cool if you think cool means like an ice queen, like a overbearing, cruel mother.
Oh.
But she's okay like 15% of the time.
I understand.
worries.
Okay. It's no fun.
No, it's not good. But we don't have time to go into all my trauma because I got a long list of it. More fact, I want to hear about you and how you got here when one, you're living, and then like two, how the hell you got here? Because I'm just real confused.
Okay. Where do you want me to start?
The beginning, and she's just
Okay.
gonna she just continues to walk with you. You are now out of the orchard at this point, as it looks like the realm of perception changes when the queen walks through, and the orchard is very short, as she has willed it to be.
I think as like the camera pans up as they start walking, he's like, "Okay, so I was born. How's that?"
That is a good way to start. That's how a lot of people are started. Okay, and so it's going to pan from there.
and then it pans back down once we get closer to the palace, and he's like, and then they made a cookie out of herring.
Cookie out of herring.
Mm. But we were eating lots of stuff on the ship, and then we made it to the end of the world and managed to get to the boatman. So
Wait a minute. You all went to the edge of the earth or edge of Gaia, and then you just fell right down. You went down that way.
is there another way?
Yes.
Oh, is it easier?
Easier than falling down the edge of the earth to a different plane of existence.
It wasn't great. We were a little worse for the wear after that one.
I can assume so. And if you could eat, you bet your large blue ass I'd be feeding you until you couldn't eat anymore and until you couldn't feel the pain of falling down. I don't even know how long. Too long. From one plane to another.
Yeah. Not the best time.
No. I can assume so.
I'm also I don't remember if I told you. I have a daughter. I'm also looking for her. Have you seen her anywhere?
I feel like you had mentioned her before in the
Oh, definitely.
conversation.
Okay, great.
Come back. Your daughter's missing?
She's not here with me. I assumed that where I ended up was just part of what I grew up with or believed or whatever, but she's not here. So
Hey, don't you come here. And she's just gonna do this. You come down. And as soon as you are able to be within grasp, her hands clasp both sides of your nose. As she goes, Mama Persephone will take care of this. We're gonna find her. I'm gonna make sure she's okay. And she's just as smart as you, and kind of like wiggles your face around a little bit. Then she wouldn't have eaten anything. We're good to go. But we better hurry. Okay?
okay.
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 We are going to cut to this point to someone else, and we may come back around,
Okay, cool.
depending on how timing's looking. But you, the castle is not a huge castle. If anything, I would say it looks like a very well kept, very comfortable home that is sizable. It feels more like a farmhouse than a castle, less regal. But you do see that there are people standing around it like they were guards, people working in it like they were servants. And when you walk in, it is different than Olympus by a long shot. It is comfortable, it is warm, it is welcoming. You see pictures and paintings all down the hallways of Persephone and Hades doing different things. Pretty much almost like vacation photos.
Yeah.
With them like very cute things. And I'm not going to explain how you see Hades right now. Because we're gonna keep that for a second. But you see them. And we're gonna cut there. Like you're
Okay.
just walking into the home, basically, at that
Great.
point.
Cool.
Let's go with depth.
Me.
You. Hi. So, you are standing at the edge of a fogged veil to go into what you would assume is an afterlife that is not your own. But you had heard this thing, this shadowy being behind you. It had echoed your name. It had echoed a few things of yours. But it attacked you. And you are now paused. It is your turn on what you may or may not want to do.
Okay. So after kind of running past this creature, terrified out of my mind, it's taken a swipe out of my back. I'm in agony, but as I'm just about to like run through the portal that I think is the right one, something clicks. And I realize who this is meant to be. Oh, sorry. It's freezing a little bit. Hold, please.
You're okay.
Okay. And I turn back around and I just look at it.
You see the face I had described before. The sunken in black skeletal features of something almost bovine. Horns poking from it in this twisted menagerie. And it is tall. It is very tall. And the eyes are glowing this electrum blue. Seems to be more like energy coming from it and like an aura of blue rather than like blue pupils or anything you can read. And it is starting to move towards you. As you see billowing shadows kind of illuminating or not illuminating, but like flowing off of it. As it draws closer, the ground you cannot feel shake, but you can sense the weight of its steps.
Hello?
Hey, AJ. Can you roll something for me?
What an interesting choice. What an interesting choice to make.
Will you roll high or low, and then Depth will get to choose if it's high or low, and then let me know if that is your roll.
Hi, baby.
Nope.
Oh.
It just takes another step closer silently. It looks like it has about 4 steps before it gets to you. I do want to point out at this point, as it draws closer, you can see off to the corner, almost like it came from the shadows itself. You see a butterfly shape. The butterfly is purple, and you see a skull as it flutters off and then dissipates.
Okay, it's gonna kill me. Caleo is looking at this figure, terrified out of his mind, and hearing the familiarity, it strikes a chord in him that is something that he's never felt before, kind of a resigned terror. He is dealing with it firsthand, what lives inside of him, and he's never really had to look at it before. That's what he's assuming anyway, what this being is. And he takes a step back towards the portal, not facing away from it. And just before he steps through the portal, he will cast Healing Word at the creature.
Do you want to wait to see what happens when you cast that? Or would you like to just step through as you're doing it?
For a moment, he'll see kind of the immediate after effect before stepping back through the portal.
So, just to confirm, as we talked about in this world before, necromancy is not only the magic of death, but rather necromancy as a whole is a life and death. Necrotic, totally different thing, but necromancy itself is the manipulation and the balance of life and death. So as you throw, the seemingly opposing side of what this thing, this maybe a piece of you, maybe it's not, you're not 100% sure it is what it is, but as you throw out this spell, do you have a specific area of aim? Do you have a specific do you have anything specific that you would want as like a result or something you're looking for?
Not particularly, but I do know what word he uses. He uses help. And kind of just looks into its eyes as he just mutters the word through the spell.
As you throw it, you see, you can hear the help resonate from your lips. But as this magic hits where you think it would just kind of blossom from, immediately you see the shadows curl out like tentacle-like and extinguish the magic before these shadowy grips coming from and rolling off of the body of this thing seemingly rip it apart as they cover it and then pull the magic apart, letting it fall. And then you hear, help, help, help. And the help echoes. You see no mouth moving. You see nothing come from anywhere. And you step back into this veil from it. Now, this area that you go into, let me go ahead and pull it up here. Route 18.
All the colored people in this cast are like, leave it the fuck alone. And you keep on messing
Stop
with it.
talking to it!
Yeah, it's me.
We're all just like,
You gotta leave yourself the fuck alone.
He's like, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. I'm gonna just cast this spell. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone!
Yeah, the only voice you should care about is your own.
Look
In
at
your
that
head.
600-pound tiger. That most dangerous creature on planet Earth.
I'm gonna touch
I'm gonna go
it.
dodge it. I'm gonna poke you with a stick.
It's the most
Guys,
dangerous.
there?
It's the most dangerous.
That's my
creature.
own shadow.
It's the most
Guys, we
dangerous-
can't argue with death. It's in their nature to be this wily with nature.
It's the most dangerous creature in the planet, and it gets agitated so easily. I'm gonna poke it.
I'm gonna sneeze it. I'm gonna tickle it with this feather.
I'm gonna give it healing word.
I'm gonna give it more vigor to attack me with.
Hey AJ, you want to roll something else for me?
Wow.
This is for me.
What a vengeful machine you've created.
This is great.
No responsibility on your end, huh?
Can you roll the dice again, the high or low, or D100, and then let me know what it rolls.
28.
28.
28.
28. Okay.
Not 29.
So you walk into this area. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Because I had an idea of what I wanted. No, this won't be any good for you. Oh, that's fun. That one's fun. Let's do that one.
I'm excited.
So
Let's do it, baby.
do it, baby. So, you walk into this area, and you hear immediately behind you. You feel the air change from this low, almost suffocating area of just nothingness and unsurety and decisions. You walk into this area and immediately the smell of iron hits your nose. As the world, rather than having a dark kind of gray tint, has this red kind of glow. You can immediately hear concentrated in line footsteps as the world around you feels like an entirely new place from where you just were. Would you like to turn around?
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that?
I mean, if there's footsteps behind me, Clay's gonna go and look towards them.
You're going to turn around, and what you see is a kingdom, a huge landscape of a kingdom. There are no walls. The entire area is devout to this whatever order it is. And you see plenty of people walking in a very militaristic style with one another. By almost seemingly by choice. As you see a group of people in very similar clothing. However, there is a very consistent trait, and this clothing is armor and light robes, but not much else. And a combination of the two. Or in fact, there are people who are wearing the absolute bare minimum to nothing at all. And you see this very orderly utopia behind you. There are people who are walking in that militaristic left, right, with shields and spears. And these shields all look the same. They all look very similar. With a very, I'd say it's very easy for you to attribute once you see them. So I'll wait for a moment before you see that. And you see lands of fields and arenas and coliseums and lots of different large areas, bathhouses. It is a beautiful city in utopia that seems to have complete order and organization. But as you look around, you also see heavy indulgences in feasts and food and the sins of the flesh, while also seeing plenty of sparring and fighting. And this sparring is not just the simple training with a wooden sword or with a rule that once you are knocked down, they help you back up. There is blood. There is gore. There is fights to the seemable death. To which, after a bit of time, you see people recover and come back. And to which there is boisterous and joyous laughter of the occurrences, mostly from the people who have won the situation, but you can see on both ends the harrowing of the sport. And these people who are holding shields, who have designated themselves as the guards of this area, have helms adorned on them. And they all seem to have very similar looking helms, not quite as ornate as the ones that are on the shields, but they all seem to be wearing very similar, tall, sharp helms, with a very sharp nose cover over them.
All right. Kind of just taking a moment to just like get my bearings and be like, okay. Self-regulate. Calm down that nervous system. Kind of just like takes a look around and he's still trying to like catch his breath from just like the terror that he felt his body being seized in. Gonna go for old cottage try. Any symbols of deities that are recognizable to me? Is this seem very kind of religious?
I just gave you one. The one that was on the shield.
I missed that. What was
Oh.
it?
A helm?
Oh, it's a helm?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that Ares?
If you're not sure, you can roll for it.
Ugh.
You want to give yourself guidance?
I did. Hang on, I need a religion. 16?
That's enough. Yeah, it's absolutely Ares. Everything here screams Ares.
Okay. All right. Um. Okay. I think Clay will also take a moment to kind of just like feel his back and like kind of try and like check how the big scratch on his back is doing. I know we said last session that like it wasn't a physical wound, but he felt like it was, so he hasn't had a chance to like realize that yet. So he kind of checks his back for the damage, and feels that it's smooth. Tries not to think about that too much. And will walk over to the closest, prettiest person, which probably is not hard, but will kind of like try and like let go of like the immediate terror and like the like horrendous memories behind them. Hi, excuse me. Could I steal you for a moment for some help?
Okay, I do want to ask, are you feeling a specific gender of pretty person, or does it not
Just
matter?
a pretty person.
A pretty person. Okay, let me... Okay, and then... So, who you're going to see is someone who doesn't seem to be a part of the large group that is walking in step, but rather someone behind, like a higher officer who is watching the army or guards walking and is making sure they're fine. You get their attention. And this person seems to be elven, masculine in form, very broad and almost triangular for an elf.
The
They are
Dorito
not
build.
Dorito Bill.
Dorito build.
They don't seem to be wearing too much. Really, they're wearing like a battle skirt, and their sandals. And then over their arms there are bracers. But a lot of their upper body and their legs are shown, including their back. And what you see is a scar that is almost over accentuated in this area. And you see a very large scar that's right at the sternum, like they were stabbed. But it is healed, but it looks like it's healed to an extent where they did nothing to take care of it or try to minimize it. So the discoloration is very obvious. He turns to you. And he's wearing that same helm, very straight, very sharp, with a long nose covering over it, holding a spear in one hand and then the shield in the other. He looks over you for a moment. It gives a look of not unsurety, but just you don't fit what Ares would bring. And you're not wearing what Ares would bring. And go, borrow me for as long as you need.
Thank you so much. My name is Caleo, and I've just been turned around. This is still the underworld, correct?
This is the realm of Ares. Those who fought and probably didn't win. Or if they did, died in their own stead. But here we are all warriors. And like and
Very
kind.
turned around. I do know if there is a way towards Hades. I have a meeting with him where he resides, general direction.
My only assumption would be the Gaian ideal of down. This area is not somewhere I've wished to leave, so I don't know what the rest of the Undertale, or the Underworld.
Undertale!
Undertale! What the rest of the Underworld...
you!
It's always me! What the rest of the Underworld entails. However, I have found that the deeper you go, the closer you are to his kingdom. So.
Alright, great. Which direction would be towards going down? Do you know?
We don't choose to leave, but we don't have the option to do so either. I've not heard of anyone who has wished to leave. But if you're looking for someone like that, you may find someone deeper in the city.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Thank you,
Laios.
Laios. Thank you very much, Laios. I appreciate your help and good luck in your future battles here.
And you see him just take the hand that has the shield and just hard against his chest.
And we'll
Before he points towards the easiest direction to get into the main area of town, which you are seeing very well constructed, large, well maintained buildings.
okay. So Caleo will start walking and he'll start looking for people that aren't so Aries heavy. I'm looking for anyone that's like a little bit out of place, anyone with different sigils on them, and anything that doesn't look like a meat macho man wanting to die over and over again.
Like, hey, that person you just talked to was part of the Oedipus complex, whole shit. So it's fine. That's his father that he kills unknowingly and then marries his mom.
Damn.
Whoops. You can roll I'd say a religion, or I would say perception or investigation, or maybe an insight. But you're looking for something.
Perception, please. Okay, that's good. 25.
25. So here's the thing about being in the area of Aries. You're gonna find a lot of people who are worshiping Aries, because this is where they go. However, you do find people who have multiple deities they worship. Most of them are very proudly distributing the fact that they are followers of Aries and mainly Aries. But as you begin to go deeper in, as I had mentioned before, there are bathhouses. And then one of the bathhouses that you see has, let me see. I'm going to say they are an orcish woman. Orcish woman, still very broad built. However, you do see that there is also iconography of both Ares and Aphrodite.
Okay.
And that's maybe the closest you'll find here. Just a couple other facts. It looks like she is pouring in something into one of the baths, possibly like some kind of salt or fragrance, something for bathing purposes with a little bit of like a milk in it, and her hair is down, tucked behind her ears. It is slicked back, and black. So slicked back, and then you begin to see the waves and the curls appear. And it seems that she is adorned in a way that a person that worships Aphrodite would see themselves. So rather than wearing armors, you do see there are quite a few battle scars over her, but you see a lot more um, dainty jewelry and very soft, long clothing rather than something harsh or something more utilitarian. Um, but that's really the first person you see that does not have multiple or does not have only Aries.
Okay. Caleo will. You said she's in the bathhouse, or she was outside?
She's out in one, like near one of the pools, pouring in additional
Okay.
like salts and milks to continue allowing it to be luxurious.
All right. Excuse me. I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm sure you're quite busy, but I'm a little lost, so I would appreciate a moment of your time if you have it.
She will turn to you. And first, she'll look you over. You do see there is a very large scar that does go from her chin all the way up to her hairline. Um, and you see one of her tusks right there in the middle of the cut is broken. But as she turns to you, you see her face soften. Of course, how can I help?
My name is Caleo, and I was hoping to reach Hades. I have a meeting with him, and I got separated from my friends. I was hoping maybe someone around here knew somehow to go down to the next level to continue on.
Well, there aren't many people who choose to leave their afterlife, but it is heard of. It's a situation where you would go find the veil on the edges and outskirts, and you would simply walk. But many who don't wish to leave, or find in their soul they don't want to leave, don't see a veil.
I definitely want to leave so bad. So that shouldn't be a problem. So thank you very much. Sorry, what was your name?
Ula.
Ula. Thank you so much, Ula, for your kindness. And I wish you the best in your afterlife.
As you begin to walk away, you feel a hand on your shoulder stop you. Um, Before you leave, she'll try to turn you back towards her if you are willing to let her.
Sure.
I sense hostility in your eyes.
In my eyes,
Not at me.
I don't really. I have a home back in back somewhere. I just need to get back there. So thank you though.
Not
But I
hostile.
do have a home.
Not hostile. Hostility. Anger. Disgust. Disdain. Not liking.
Those are a lot of words.
Mhm.
Yes. I am quite an even-tempered person, but thank you, though.
I didn't say it was at me, but rather at the world you're in currently. And she'll point down to one of her two pendants, the one that has more Aries iconography and symbolism on it. I can see it in you. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Perfectly fine. And kind of like gestures to his symbol of Hestia. I very deferring pathways. Not that I don't respect. There is a place for violence and war. I am just more of the aftermath. I help people heal. I send them on to their way after they fall from battle. So it very, very differing people, personalities, beliefs.
I see. And I think you are missing pieces of your information. As, of course, Ares is the father and god of war and bloodshed, but also of courage, order, peace, discipline. Basically, wars that have been started, he will end.
That is very good to know. Thank you.
Be safe.
Thank you. And enjoy the bathwater. Goodbye.
Perfect.
He just wants to find his friends.
No, that was just really funny. Yeah, so basically from what you know, like how you walked in before, there's a veil. So
Yeah.
pick a direction.
Yeah, I will. Sorry, I'm reading the prophecy again because I'm just. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I find a veil.
Okay.
I walk until I see the veil.
Absolutely, yeah. Once you get to the outskirts of town, you could see how a realm like this could continue on forever and ever, have different cities and complexes and everything like that. But your mindset is, I don't want to be here. This is not for me. This is not my area. I need to leave. And basically, once you've left the outskirts, the veil is there.
Perfect. I'm desperately thinking with all of my thoughts that I can possibly have, all two of them. I just think about getting to my friends and hope that I can find them and hope that that is helping in some way as I walk through the veil. I'm just thinking, I just want my please help me find my friends.
Okay.
Please help me get to my friends.
So just to confirm, did you go out the way you came in, or did you go out a different way?
I would have just kept going, like, I'm assuming if I came in from, like, this side and I went deeper into the city, I just would have kept going the same, like, direction to the
Okay.
other side.
Sure. So as you leave, the area deviates into the paths that you knew before. And that the same gray and the same kind of shrouded darkness is there once more. But you're not in the same place you were before. You're in a different area that has different signage and different areas to go through. The paths all look very similar, but the signs are slightly deviated, so you know it's not the same area. You also don't necessarily see someone who is coming directly after you, shrouded in shadow.
Caleo is so quiet, he doesn't say a single fucking word. He's just Not a single sound as uses. It's the same where there's like a bunch of different doorways that I can go through.
There's a bunch of veils. Yeah, so there's a bunch of just like areas, paths that go into fog that you could enter into. But you do see that there is, like before, a main path that does go a certain direction and a middle post that has many different signs in directions with those signs. However, it looks like it's extremely overwhelmed. Like the amount of signs on there, especially with, and I'm just going to say this in the most loving way, that boy has dyslexia. His dyslexic ass is having a hard time from an immediate like glance knowing what everything says.
Okay. All right. I didn't go through the main door last time, right? I picked another funky looking door because.
Yeah, and they're not doors. It's just fog.
Oh, well,
it's just a wall of fog.
Pathways.
Yes. The main pathway that is going through is a larger pathway itself. So it's size-wise is separate from the other deviations. So if you go down the main path, it is the largest of all of them. If you go off of one of the main subsects, it's like a branch, it's slightly smaller. And then if you go off into little side areas, it's more like a twig, where it's like a small couple step path that's like single file. So it tries to separate itself as organized as it can, but the main path does not have any veils it goes through. Rather, it continues to travel just through this area.
All right, I'm just gonna trust the big path this time. I just go through like that main big one, and
I would love for you to make me a wisdom save.
I choose to fail. I don't. That was a joke.
Ah!
I've learnt my lesson.
I don't know. Did they learn? Have they learned?
Enough.
They have not learned.
We'll see if their dice let them learn.
Wisdom?
Mhm.
17.
17. That's enough for you to continue down. You realize if you lose focus here, the area almost becomes repetitive. And becomes almost like a maze. But you're thinking, okay, main path, here's where I want to get to, this is what I want to do, and you end up in the next area, which looks very similar. However, the side paths are deviated, it looks separate there, and the main path does continue forward. However, in this area, you do begin to see more shadowed areas, as there are more paths that are not part of the main path itself, but the branches that continue outwards, while the main signs are pointing in front of you and behind you.
Not saying a fucking word, I'm just walking.
Just walking.
Just walking. Keeping a very vigilant eye out, but not saying a single fucking word.
What's Caleo thinking?
I think, like, their biggest thought is that they just want to get back to everyone, but kind of their stream of consciousness line of thinking is kind of going along the lines of, like, if I'm on my own, then everyone probably got separated, and I think, like, they'll start worrying about Mena and start worrying about everyone else, like, consequentially, but, like, Mena is the first person that, like, comes to his head. And, like, realizing everyone got separated. And yeah.
Can you make me another wisdom save?
Sure thing.
Do you want to choose to fail it?
27.
Damn.
That's really good. The next time that you roll up to the signs, your mind is a blur, but it's also focused. You're in this weird state of perpetual, oh my god, where are my friends? But also, this is where I am, and nothing's going to do what it did earlier to me. When you get to the sign this time, it looks like the signpost is responsive to your thoughts. As now, instead of having just forward, back, and different areas, you have 2 paths in front of you. One that points towards more veils and more shadows, and then one that seems to run very warm. You can feel it radiating from where you stand right now.
What kind of heat are we talking about?
And I can't read.
You can try to read if you
I'm
want.
gonna try to read.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll
An intelligence check.
Who knew that would be the bane of your decisions down here?
I would say try to roll like an investigation. Or no,
Alright.
I guess
That's still
insight.
intelligence.
Yeah. I think intelligence is a good thing to start with at this point.
Okay, so wait, am I rolling investigation or insight? Because insight is wisdom based.
Oh, roll insight. Insight's fine. You're basically trying to, rather than read the signs, because these are weird underworld Hades rules, you're trying to get the vibe of the sign to have it speak to you.
Okay. Damn, another 19. 24.
One sign, as you finally focus on it, it looks like the signs are flexible to read at your thoughts and your I guess at your leisure. I'm trying to find the right term, but basically the signs are stating the directions, but the directions are based off of what you're thinking. The signs point, and you see one of them read Ragna, Enigma, Kazimir, and I'm trying to see if everyone else is there too. One second. Finley. And then you also see Cortelius. And because I'm not naming the vice captain after all this time, this is now based off of strength. There's an asterisk next to Cortelius's name. So you see that's where the sign is pointing to for one direction, where the rest of the veils are. But the direction that's pointing hot, you see, says Noemi and Mena. And they seem to be the only 2 in that direction.
Oh boy. Okay. Everyone else is in the other direction, and it's just Mena or Noemi that are in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
I think out of principle, he would go towards Mena or Noemi. Like, just also on top of the fact that it's just them 2. He's assuming that everyone from like the science, everyone else has found each other but Mena or Noemi. So he's gonna go through that one. And also he's worried about Mena, obviously.
Sure. Definitely not worried
and
about...
Noemi, but he's not fucking Noemi, is he?
Not right now.
Not right now.
I was gonna say, also, he's totally not worried about Noemi and Mena being in the same area by themselves. It's
Listen,
crazy.
that was like 1 second. He's over it.
I would love for you, as you start walking in this very warm direction, to make me a dexterity save.
I'm gonna be fallen. I've been rolling really good, guys. I'm scared. A dexterity check?
Save.
Save. I hope I don't have... I do not. Okay. I was like, I forgot what armor I was wearing. Oh my god.
Just in case you had disadvantage.
Yeah, but I don't, so... Okay. 14?
You're
Wait,
walking.
wait. 11 plus 2 plus 1. 14, yes. Sorry.
14. No, that's okay. You are walking in the direction, but the direction keeps making you walk for a long time. Until eventually you feel your foot slip. Like the ground below you has made a step where your foot's supposed to be. And you don't quite have enough to catch yourself. As you feel yourself begin to stumble down, not quite like fall and tumble, but stumble down and begin to go down these stairs that are non-existent until it does become a free fall. You basically go under the fog and the shadows until it becomes a free fall. And then below you, can you just roll me a general religion? Just a religion.
Just a general religion. $28.
You've heard about this place. You know this is a place you don't want to be. This is a place that they shouldn't be. You're hearing the screams, the chains. You can feel the pain. You can feel Hestia burning in your chest, a warning, but also you can feel the empathy of everything that's occurring as a grave cleric. You can just feel people's final resolve as you are falling into Tartarus. And you know exactly where you are. We're not gonna go on to this too much because I want to save this. AJ, will you roll me a D100?
Am I just gonna be like, ah.
High or low? Or roll me high or low. And then Depth, will you pick high or low?
Low for Hades.
It's
Oh,
high.
High. Damn. Shit.
AJ, will you roll me high or low? Or actually, you pick high or low and I'll roll for you. You don't have to roll your own. Pick.
Hi.
High? Okay.
No.
It's a 5.
Well.
So instead of
flying.
it just being they're flying. And you smack into a bird that is flying over Tartarus. We're gonna come back to you guys next session in the middle of this free fall as you have collided with a falling cleric.
That's crazy.
I don't take damage from that, otherwise I'm dead.
You're okay. We'll get to that in a minute. It's okay.
Fuck.
We'll be fine.
Man, now I have to
Your
look for
your
the
fall
stats
was
of a
stopped
giant
by a
eagle.
bird.
To look at the
Wait,
stats of a
that's my
giant
mute
eagle
button,
to
not
see
the
how much
cord.
damage it can take.
We'll get back to that next time. Let's take a quick 5-minute break,
Yay.
and then we will come back. 5
Alright.
to 10 minutes, whatever we want to do. But I think it's up to y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going
But-
on break. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.
Hi, welcome back. Def didn't say anything, and it threw me off really bad because I was just waiting because I didn't hear one or what.
What a
And
Pavlovian
sometimes-
response.
Exactly. I love enacting the Pablo. I'm just not gonna say anything ever again.
Good luck with that.
Anyway, Christian
Yes.
Ragna is in his own little realm with Enigma, and he has what he thinks Hades looks like.
Yeah.
In front of him. The area resembles the Garden of Gaia.
Yep.
And I think there was another person there. Because I think there was Enigma.
Enigma, and then the Muffin Man was there.
Yeah, that's right, the Muffin Man's still there.
But there's not really a Muffin Man. He's more of a muffin smear as he turned around, and his face was like a messed up
Vontus is
watercolor
there
painting.
too.
Vontus is there too.
Kind
Same.
of dissipated at this
Yeah.
point when you were like, this isn't real, I hate it. And
Yeah.
when everything turned to the garden, because you kind of gave up the Vontus idea, so I assumed you just went, that's not real, I don't want to see her
I like
anymore.
that. I hate that. I hate that actually. Stop.
Yeah, so there's the Muffin Man.
Yeah.
What you think Hades looks like,
Mm-hmm.
who just rearranged your sentence that you
Yeah.
wanted him to say.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on rye.
Yeah. Wow,
And he said, I prefer peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on rye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the raid, Sword and Key. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for the raid.
Hey,
Appreciate you
we're in
so
a
much.
sandbox.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate the sandbox. How do cats do this?
You should love it.
I hate it.
So you have all these.
You gave an artist a blank canvas and went here. And he's like, I hate this because it's gonna be whatever I want. No, I want to work for it. Stop it. Stop it.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
So you were there with the visage of the Muffin Man, the visage of what you think Hades looks like, and you are in what is a almost perfect replica of what the Gardens of Gaia are, based off of Enigma's ideals.
Yeah.
So, what's next?
I think Ragna is just gonna look at everything, see all the faux reality around him. Like knowing it's fake is the thing that pisses him off the most. And he's just gonna like kind of close his eyes and think about a way out. Think if he can make anything, right? Think about a path to one of his friends, a path like to Kazimir, or because he doesn't know where anybody is, so he's just thinking about a path. He's thinking about a door. He's thinking about just sinking into the floor itself and ending up next to somebody.
Okay. So, who's the first person you think of?
Kaj.
Okay. So, what is the form of escape?
The form of escape is ooh, that's a good question. A form of escape. I think the form of escape for now is just like a path. It's just like a golden door, like a golden rectangle of light.
Okay.
With nondescript light in it, and he just walks, eyes closed still. So he doesn't even know if he walks through it or not. And he just walks forward, saying nothing, thinking nothing, but get to Kaj. The original two got to stick together.
So you begin to walk.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, my best save.
Good.
That's a 7.
With your eyes closed, you walk right into the fucking door, dude.
Dude.
Yeah. Nose first. You take 1 point of damage as you just
Cool.
run into the fucking door. Like you're walking down this path, you feel the path below you, and just
I should have imagined an open door, huh? he like hits it, backs up and like opens his eyes as he like flutters his nose. Not
Are you
expecting.
okay?
I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to just like walk through something. I wasn't.
The door was
expecting-
closed.
I didn't expect a closed door. There's this, and
Okay.
is it just like a because I didn't give you an app description of it, but is it just like a wooden door?
You didn't
Or-
give me an app description, but basically it's whatever Ragna would have imagined the doors to be
Okay.
like, based off of what you said, because you said golden. I thought it was like a golden set of double doors with an
Right.
arch. But if it's different in his mind, that's the type of door. Just it wasn't specified to be open, so I assumed it was closed.
Hey, that's on me. I can't. That's on my thinking of. It's just gonna be a doorway, not a door. Okay, and he's just gonna rub his nose, a little embarrassed, and then he's gonna open it.
As you open the door, you see emptiness behind it, except for Kazimir, who turns around in a very slow way. And will you give us just a basic greeting from Kazimir? Andre?
Well, let me finish my pretzel.
Oh, okay.
Just turns like an apo, just like turns.
No, literally, it's
Oh no.
Hello. Like it's wrong.
It's wrong. It's like that hurts me creatively. Like I couldn't even think of a good way for you to introduce yourself. It hurts me
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, ouch.
Oh my gosh, it's our friend Kazimir! There he is!
It's not
What?
them. It's not them. He's just gonna like wipe his hand away.
It,
To, like, yeah.
it all goes.
Ragdoll physics out of the way.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Now, when you
You
wipe
just
away,
hear-
do you want to wipe everything clean, or are you just wiping out this?
I'm wiping out this.
Okay, so the garden's still there. Hades is still there.
Mhm.
The Muffin Man is still there.
Yeah. I promise you real muffins when we get back. Can you get rid of that guy? It's not mine, so he's kind of your responsibility. He's not real. He's playing tricks on you. He's lying to you.
They're gonna turn and look at the Muffin Man where his eyes would be. And it's almost like you can actually, because this is a sandbox, you hear like really sad, like breakup rom-com music. As you just hear, you have to go. You can't be here anymore. It's over. And then you see the Muffin Man raise his hand out, like he'd be going, why? Like it's across the way in like an airport. And it's just like this. It's like, no, don't say that. You have to go. And then Enigma will kind of like scamper around the other side of your shoulder. And then you see a paw go out and go, just leave. And then the other hand will cover her eyes before she turns and looks. And then you just see the Muffin Man go, no, just go. And then with a wave of the tail, the Muffin Man is gone in a very sad, almost kind of like melting
Oh,
way. Before Enigma goes, oh, that was hard.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It's okay.
It's it.
Breakups are hard.
So I've read. I think he's just gonna start seeing that things just get erased when they wave their hand. He's just gonna like start waving at like the space of Eden itself to
Mhm.
like return them back to the void that was around them. And then he's just gonna try to do the same thing with Hades.
Yeah.
And just get rid of all of it. Okay. And there's a point where he's just like completely still and silent, and he's just really trying to focus on nothing. Like he's not even thinking about an exit. He's not thinking about Kaj. He's not thinking about Vontas. He's not thinking about anyone or anything. And he's just trying to connect with either himself or Echo, some semblance that is not him and not the dragon on his shoulder.
Can you roll me a wisdom save as you're trying to focus?
Mm-hmm. Wisdom save, I got you. That is an 18.
Okay. You begin to feel the area itself. You still don't feel, you feel a connection to Echo, but the connection is so far out of your reach that it's just not possible to really connect. It's more like a blip where once in a while you can sense it's there. Like a piece of you is missing and you know it's somewhere, but it's not feasible.
Yeah.
But you connect with the area and you begin to feel the darkness of the area become the dark in your mind. Like the layout is becoming clear in your mind. Almost as if it is wanting you to build anything. Begging you to build something.
I think just feeling it beg, feeling it yearn for creativity. He almost wants to starve it of that. And so he just, again, he's not moving. He's focusing on nothing. He's almost spacing out. Like when you look at a spot for too long and you just start to like, things just get fuzzy and weird, and then you lose track of time. I think he's starting to try to do that, but then you realize he's trying, and then he just like relaxes fully, and like he'll even like lay down.
What do you expect the feeling? Like what do you expect the texture, the density, the hardness of what you are sitting on, laying on? What does Ragna expect?
He tries to have no expectation. He tries to he doesn't want to throw any kind of feeling at it. He just want to give it sensation. He just wants to fall.
Okay. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage?
With disadvantage, that is, wow, I actually rolled two 18s, so that is a 21.
As you allow yourself to fall back, your feet are no longer touching anything. Your back isn't touching anything. Your nothing is touching you except for Enigma on your shoulders, which might be your saving grace in this moment, as you feel both weightless and just heavy. As there's nothing around you. It is the most unnerving feeling as you are just floating in absolute void. As you feel almost something clawing at your mind to make something, to formulate anything.
Is it what? How do you ask this question? Because I don't know. Why the fuck you ask this question? is the feeling of it wanting me to build for me or for it?
Okay. Oh, we're getting really philosophical.
Yeah.
Can you roll me a wisdom just flat?
Wisdom flat. Okay.
Yeah.
That is. If you could roll 20, please. Roll 20. Fucking D&D Beyond. Don't get frozen on me, please. That is a 20. Dirty 20.
Will you also roll me an intelligence flat?
Ooh. That's 15.
Okay. So you're weighing here between almost spiritual and intellectual. So you are coming at this from two sides. Intellectually, you are smart enough to know that if you are put in an area by yourself, as someone who spends a lot of time on your own, if you are put into nothingness for too long with no reception, your brain is going to urge you to create something to create normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
However, your wisdom is telling you that even if you are trying to make yourself do this, it's almost as if the realm itself is also begging for the attention to formulate, to become, to be. So you feel it's a little bit of both of your psyche and your normalcy trying just to grab onto anything, while you also feel the area is not lacking sentience to a degree.
A degree. I think because the one thing he can grab and the one thing he can know is real is Enigma. He like takes them and like takes them off his shoulder, like grabs them like because he's like he doesn't. There's no direction, so he just has them facing has them like a cat. This is like, hey, sorry, I've got you kind of in this mess.
Nah, I've had worse.
You've had
I've probably.
That I'm very curious what you mean by that, but at the same time, I don't want you to think about that.
No, this is just kind of like where I'm at all the time.
What do you mean?
My mind is a void, man.
That does make Ragna laugh. At the it can't be this empty. You've got some great thoughts in that head of yours.
No, when I think it hurts.
Right here with you. I'm right here
Like, I was like, yeah. It hurts my heart.
It hurts your heart.
Yeah.
Why do you think it hurts your heart?
Because it's, I don't know, just when I think, I get this feeling of bleh, but it's like in my heart. It's like my heart's throwing up.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a positive feeling in the slightest. That sounds very negative.
No, it sucks.
Do you feel that way now?
No, I'm not thinking of anything. You want me to think of something?
No. Well, I don't know. I'm usually really good with my thoughts alone, but I'm not moving forward. I'm just staying still. And you can think however you want. If you're not progressing, it's just hiring.
Maybe you were being super specific. Because you thought of, like, really specific things. So maybe your brain just works too hard.
Could be a possibility.
You read lots of books.
I do.
There are negatives to reading.
That's what Big Library tells you.
Big pager.
Big pager. The scribe is up in the clouds. I mean, maybe I am infamously quite the overthinker. So
I don't even know what most of those words meant.
okay, so then I'll follow your lead. Since you don't, okay. So if I'm thinking too much and you don't think at all, maybe we can find some middle ground.
Okay. So what do we want to do?
Well, our mission is to meet Hades. I mean, I'm sure he's a busy man, but we have a deadline to meet. The end of the world is coming. But we also, he'll stop. We need to find our friends, our actual friends, not just memories of them.
So we need out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, that's really hard.
Out, 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 out. And he's gonna just repeat out, out, out over and over again.
I would like you, with advantage, as you are now working hand in hand with Enigma, to think as simply as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw again.
With advantage, you said?
Mm-hmm.
That is a 22.
So as you're just thinking out, 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 there's no other thought. Your mind is trying to say, how are you getting out? What do you think of when you get out? And you're only saying out, out. I want out. We want out. You begin to feel yourself being pulled. And it's very slow at first, almost like you're being pulled through, like, jello or gelatin, just like thick and slow, and you feel the pushback, but then quickly it becomes faster and faster and faster, like it's on some kind of rubber band. And eventually gets to the point where you start hearing Enigma yelling and screaming as you're being flung backwards into this. Until your back hits a fogged veil, and the both of you roll and tumble out into an area I've described before for Caleo, which has a lot of pathways and a lot of signage. And it is... there are things here. You can feel the ground. Things are here, but it is dark and almost suffocating. And really the only things that you can see are going to be from the almost glowing fog below for the pathways and the signage posts, and then you see the veil of the different veils and paths around you, and in some areas, shadows. Above you, it's only shadows. But you got out.
I got out. Do I see? You see, I see a gajillion paths. Do I see that the signage as well, or is it just like
you do, and you see the main path as well. You do see a large post that has a bunch of different signs going a bunch of different directions. even with you, who is someone who can read quite a bit, you would need to focus to be able to figure out what these are saying.
I mean, hey, I wasn't able to focus back there. I'm gonna focus over here. Gonna
Sounds good.
focus on the signage, despite the fact he can't. He's like just like focusing really hard on the symbols that he sees, just to see what, like, if he can glean any semblance of what they say.
Is there something in particular you're looking for?
Particular I'm looking for. Hey, It's weird because he's still kind of iffy about, like, is this real? Is this place real? And he'll just go, show me Kazimir or whatever he is.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom save.
That's a 22.
22. You see a lot of signs, different directions. A lot of the signs do not clear up. They are jumbled. The words are moving. The symbols are sometimes not letters. It is confusing and almost a bit headache inducing. But you see one sign that begins to become more solidified, and the arrow is pointing kind of off in a direction. It's not quite the main path. It looks like you would take a larger path and then like a subsect from there. But it says Persephone's realm.
I recognize the name, so that's good. I mean, it makes sense. His family is a worshiper of Persephone, so hey, that lucky for him. And hopefully they haven't left to go to his palace. And he'll start walking down that path.
As you're walking, you begin to hear like not begin, but you hear a sigh from Enigma.
What's wrong?
You just hear, I miss the Muffin Man.
You'll see him, the real one. He's way better than that one, I promise.
He was kind of a heartthrob.
Your imagination is stunning.
Thank you. Yours is really intense. Also, ooh, you imagined a girl.
It's the girl I like.
Yeah.
You know I like them a lot.
I know, but I don't know. I never get to do the things that friends do. Like make fun of you for liking people, which is totally okay, and I don't know why people make fun of each other for doing it. But haha.
Hey, feel free to make fun of me as much as you like.
Your fur is soft.
Oh. Yeah. I've heard that. That is a for a blacksmith, my heart is wounded.
I'm sorry.
The pain. Oh, the pain. My
No, wait,
self-esteem.
I'm sorry. I'm
my
sorry.
self-esteem. My self-worth. Oh no.
I'm so sorry. There's just like Enigma wraps himself around your mane a little bit more as they go, no, it's so coarse. It's like it's
you
like
don't have
iron
to lie
wool.
to me. You don't have to lie. You can tell me the truth.
But basically that's gonna happen for a while. Before you get to after a few more signs that do help you in that direction, you get to a veil that is completely clouded. It looks like the one you just left.
Yep.
But the signs say this is Persephone's place.
Okay. And he's just gonna this is double Dutch. kind of like and he'll hop through.
As you hop through, you see a beautiful golden skyline. The fields are bountiful. there are orchards and people who are working, and immediately the amazing smell of sweet fruit hits your nostrils.
Mm.
It seems like the area is very large, much larger than you would imagine walking through this veil.
Mm-hmm.
And as you turn back, you don't see a veil behind you.
Can't go back. Whoops. With the sweet smell of fruit, I've been around Kazimir for long enough. That boy ain't sweet. That boy musky as fuck. And as a lion person, lions have a great sense of smell. Can I smell for this motherfucker?
Can I hunt my friend?
Can I hunt my friend?
Sure, you can go on the prowl for your friend.
Can I stalk my friend?
Can I stalk my friend and then hop out
and
like a
track
lion would?
them?
Consensually, of course.
What is this game for if it's not to stalk your friends consensually?
Of course. Exactly, right?
Go ahead and roll. I'd say it's perception. If you have a scent-based perception advantage, feel free to use it. If you don't, it's just normal.
Okay. Do I have a scent base for that? I haven't actually looked.
I know you have a hearing one.
I have a hearing. Do. I just have observant, so it's just I just have expertise in it.
Okay.
So because we're just gonna roll normal. That's a 30. I'm hunting this motherfucker down.
I'm dead.
It's like you nearly get on both hands and knees to like stalk. Like you are immediately, you've hung out with him enough, so you know what he smells like. And especially in an area like this that is filled with so many like sweet scents, it's easy to find the difference. But you can nearly smell his path of where he went. However, the most recent areas that you're finding are not at the orchard anymore, but rather to your left, where there is a rather large farmhouse past the fields of grain.
Gonna immediately just start booking it. No sightseeing. God, it's that way.
You can feel Enigma holding on tight. But you can also feel Enigma begin to like mumble in your ear. It's like, you can't have the fruit. You can't eat the fruit here, but it smells so good.
It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap.
I know.
It's how I get you.
It's just a mental turmoil of not being able to eat anything.
Yeah, it's gotta be rough.
And before we leave, we're gonna have you two meet up. So even though there are guards technically posted around this farmhouse, it seems very open to walk into. The court seems very free. So you are able to make your way into this home. The guards look over you to make sure there's no ill intent. But you are fairly easy to read. So they can sense there's no ill will there. And more sense of like urgency. Yeah. So no one stops you. As you walk into the farmhouse, you see pictures of this beautiful tan fiery halfling. And then you see Hades as you described him.
Oh.
In all these photos.
Oh.
Andre, you so don't see the same thing.
Nice.
But we're gonna hold that.
That's super cool. We love Mass Effect logic.
Hell yeah.
Love that. Love
World
that.
is what you believe it is.
Yeah.
I'll send you a description of what you see.
Hell yeah.
I just don't want it out loud because it's gonna be really funny when the reveal happens.
Yeah.
I want to see Christian's little mind shatter.
It's like, I got that right. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see everything up on the pictures, the same things that Kazimir saw, except for it's with your version.
My version. That's super cool.
Your description.
It's like Roger's like, hey, cool.
You're like, crazy.
Sick.
I nailed that shit.
I nailed that on first try. Let's go.
Gosh!
Gosh!
Do you scream?
Yes.
I'd say you are not far into the castle farmhouse at this point. You are heading towards the family room area. But she's giving you a slight tour. Because she wants to show off her photos and also gives you a moment to calm down. And then as you're down one of the hallways in the second floor, you hear gosh in a very familiar, I'm going to say familiar tone.
Yeah,
Even if it's rushed.
A familiar panicked tone.
Yeah, I don't think Kaj even says like "excuse me" or "I'm so sorry." Like he just bolts. He bolts in the direction of the voice. And he like runs back downstairs to like find him.
If you get seen, you will get speared with a body.
How hard would it be to find him?
I would love for both of you to roll.
It's gonna be like the ending of American Tail, where they just like keep missing each other.
Yeah.
God damn it!
I want you to roll wisdom for me. Wisdom's a big one today, but that's the easiest way.
With some checks, eh?
Let's do checks.
21.
Guidance.
Can't guidance today.
Mentally.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. It's a.
So there's
taking that guidance.
You should have taken it.
So there's a little bit of that miscommunication. However, it's mainly Kazimir walking away as Ragna is like, Kazimir! And then he's not there. Eventually, though, the 21 will beat the 6. And you don't have a chance to roll a dexterity as you are surprised as there is a Leonin flinging himself at you. It's as what you said earlier.
Yeah.
And so you just both topple to the ground.
You see like one frame of the film is like an actual still photo of a lion jumping on a water buffalo or something.
Like real life.
Like a real photo.
The water buffalo is like kind of bluish tone, only because they changed the filters.
Yeah. And then Kashmir just goes, "Oh, I thought I lost you."
Lost me, I lost you!
Oh, and just gives him a big hug.
Yeah.
And so the hugging ensues, and then after a moment, there's like, "Oh my god, Enigma's here too! Hi!" And then Enigma will slide in between.
Oh my
and just
god.
Like, hello.
Where did you guys go?
Adventure. I saw the Muffin Man.
Muffin?
It's a legend back in.
You know him?
No, it's
On Drury Lane?
Yeah!
That one, yes.
There was a Muffin Man in Soltira.
You have a Drury Lane?
Yeah.
Every city has a Drury Lane.
The Muffin Man.
Yes.
Oh, a great street.
Enigma will now be in a constant state of Muffin Man if you would like to continue to talk.
So, where did you go?
How
did you get here?
It's like a creative mode void.
What?
It's just like
I don't understand any of the
it's
words you just said.
it was a empty inky void that I could control everything with it. And I could summon whatever I wanted, but it was always just a little too fake for me to know it was not real.
Oh, they were like little like paper cutouts.
paper in the sense of it was like real, but not like a simulacrum, like it's like
Oh,
had
like just like
a,
if
a valley of
false,
a valley of unrealness. You know,
yeah, yeah.
it's just like
It was
I could.
uncanny.
There's the word.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Oh God, he just like he hugs you
Oh
again.
God,
He hugs you again. Oh my God.
was I uncanny?
Yes, you. Oh my God. Oh,
I don't want to.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I will pay
It's
more
okay.
attention
I'm
to
here.
you.
I'm ready.
Oh,
Promise.
yeah. Oh, please be real.
Wouldn't it be
You
fucked
said
up?
such nice things.
Wouldn't it be fucked up? If he just went. It is so nice to see you again. No,
That'd be
but
torture.
yeah, we're just hugging it out, just so
Mm.
happy. I'm so I almost ate the fruit. It smelled really good, but I didn't do it.
Good.
I didn't know how to eat it.
You have to eat the seeds.
Eat the seeds.
Yeah,
Spit out the seeds in every other fruit. Why would you eat the
with
seeds?
this one is specifically you eat the seeds, and if you're down here, myths and legends say for every seed you eat, it's a month that you stay.
Forgot about that part of the myth.
Mm.
That's stupid. Anyway, why would the seed of the fruit be the thing you eat?
So it's kind of like a key that like a chain that like binds you to the realm.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah. I'm glad you didn't eat them. I had to rush here to not eat to get persuaded. The Enigma had a tough time, but they believed in the Muffin Man more than the seeds. So
I'm glad the belief of Muffin Man is real enough
it's real.
for me. Yeah.
miss
But
You'll
I was
you'll see him again
talking.
soon, I promise.
Okay. I saw Persephone.
I figured because this
You
place
see
is
the
good.
pictures?
Yeah, I see the pictures.
Are they so cute together?
I'm very surprised. I was thinking how Hades look. I didn't know what he looked like. Again, Leonin, no idea what gods even statues look like or care for. But I was surprised that my mental image of them is the one I see. You know,
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
I was very impressed. I was like, oh, even in sheer panic of creative control, I've got it unpacked. Is Persephone cool? I mean, I know you really like. I mean, that was the whole
She's
family's
got a
whole thing.
southern drawl.
Amazing, fantastic. Love to hit it. Can't wait to hit it. Are they cool though? Are they
She says something about worms.
in
Don't,
positive
don't
light
want
or
to open worms.
like a can of worms?
That was it.
Okay, that's a colloquialism.
Oh,
No words. The
Bless
worms
you.
the word. Thank you. But
she's a halfling. She's,
oh, nice.
oh,
Um, have you heard from the other three?
oh, you were the first.
Okay.
I haven't seen Mena or Noemi or Caleo. So
I hope that
they're
okay.
somewhere else in the underworld, it seems.
This place is an infinite void of pathways, it seems, because I exited the realm and was met with like almost a tree branches worth of pathways to take. And there was a signpost, and I just thought really hard about finding you, and found the path that led me here.
That's pretty lucky. Well, I kind of just abandoned Persephone to
You
to
abandoned
find you.
Persephone?
I heard you.
Just like he's just means so much to me. It means so much.
At this point,
you abandoned God for me. Oh my God.
I would say you begin to hear a Kazimir, are you okay? Sweetheart, where'd you go?
I'm over here. I found one of my friends.
So, turning the corner, you see the halfling I described before, Christian. And then she puts her hands on her hips and gives Kazimir a look. Well, you know, it's right rude to run away from your host like that.
Lady Persephone, please forgive my friend. We've been through a lot of trauma, and it's just good to see each other to make sure we're okay.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm just giving him shit. He told me literally the entire story on the way here. I know so much about it.
That's good to know. Nice to meet you, by the way.
It's good to meet you as well. Also, Lady Persephone, that is too formal. Don't
It
you
sounded
worry.
weird coming out of my mouth. It sounded weird. I just wanted to respect you because my friend respects you. So.
I should have known. You seemed too chill.
You're fine. No worries. Now, come on. You said you're looking for... We got one friend, and you said you got... What
We
was
have technically 2 friends because Enigma is also here.
it? Okay. Okay.
So,
So you got Caleo, you got Menda,
Yep.
you got Noemi,
There
right?
no.
That
Okay.
was all right. That was all correct.
And the chicken.
No. You leave
Oh.
that.
Whatever you meant, the chicken.
Yeah,
Leave them to the devices.
Calypso.
But
I know that one.
but Mena will be so sad.
Wait, what? Hold on. Do you? Where does He's like looking around.
Good God. I'm so stupid.
Oh my God! My daughter!
My daughter. I forgot.
Oh, you forgot your daughter!
I didn't mean to forget my daughter.
Oh my God! Where is she?
I don't know what she believes in anymore.
Oh my God!
Well, we were just about to go and try to see if we can locate her. And there's also like 2 others. You were talking about some like Cyclops, and then
Oh yes, Court and the other one.
The captain and the first mate. Yes, the
Yeah.
reason we're down here.
yeah, no, we'll take a look. Now, if y'all want to come with me, we're gonna go to the garden.
Okay.
We'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, now take a deep breath in and calm. You good? Okay. No more abandoning the host. Let's go. And she turns around.
Keep giving you shit for that for a while.
She'll turn around and she'll begin to walk. And now she'll look to you, Ragna, and go, so what's your story?
Oh boy. You want the whole thing? The whole thing?
Start from the beginning.
And
I started with I was born.
wow, you started that far, huh?
Yeah, the beginning.
I don't. Okay, and he'll just tell a story like how he told the story to the heroes about what they went through. Using flowery language he's learned from many books. I don't know. I said books like that. Books.
It gets to a point where you're
I'll be
overthinking.
so honest, I thought you said dicks at first,
Yep.
and I was like,
I learned from
Alright.
Dix.
I learned from Dix.
Dick's sporting.
Big library doesn't want you to know about dicks.
Big library.
Big library.
But and I didn't get to really explain while we were going over with Kazimir's, but she's very receptive and listening. And when it gets sad, she's very sad. And when it gets exciting, she's very excited. So she's thoroughly listening to this the entire time.
Yeah.
And then eventually you all three of you, walk up into her garden, which is a connected greenhouse, which is phenomenal. There are plants from every corner of the realms up in Gaian. There are plants that are from Olympus. There are plants from every single realm. And you see that she begins to walk over towards a set of flowers and vines in the corner that seem to be heavily shadowed. There's no light, and there's a stark degree difference once you walk from one area into this area. And these dark flowers, a lot of like bells that are like drooping and hanging, a lot of flowers that are on her crown are in this area. And you see her walk up to this fountain that has it looks like it would be a cherub, except for the cherub is a skeleton with little skeletal wings on it.
Skeleton baby.
Little skeletal baby.
Oh my
And is
God.
pouring water into this. And so this is my little inside look into the underworld. And I can get fairly specific, but I also this place grows and it decreases and it just changes all the time. So it's something where specifics you may want to go ask my hubby, but since he's not readily available right now, I will do my best to go ahead and do this. We'll find your people, because as someone who is also part of that realm up there most of the time out of the year, we gotta. It's better for you to leave sooner rather than later. So, who am I looking for first?
Do you want to see a thought? You want to see a daughter? You can say your. You
My
can say.
daughter, yes.
There you go.
All right. So, hold my hand. Grab my hand.
Grab my hand.
And
grab my hand.
and you feel this itty bitty hand grab around yours with a firm grasp. So around your thumb with a firm grasp. Yeah, exactly. And I need you to imagine Finley. And immediately her hand will touch the water. And almost like a reflective screen, you see it looks like someone is searching, like almost through like a database, and then is beginning to run with like a camera on their head. So you're hearing the flapping that is very, I'd say similar to bat-like, but it also is a bit more bony than that. So it's a bit unnerving. But in this pool, you see that movement. And it goes into a realm that is full of elves and half-elves. And you see her talking to someone that may or may not be familiar. It's a younger man. Elven.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're sitting on a
Oh.
bench near a pool of water. Conversing.
Oh,
Yep.
It's
I
been
hate him.
it's been, I think, years at this point since
Yep.
we've had Finley, and we all understood so
Yep.
quickly, immediately, who the fuck that was.
For context, AJ, this is we found Finley in like a well or like
You
like
found her in a like
In a-
in a like under a like altar casket.
yeah.
In like a
We found her
tomb.
like in a
A
tomb.
tomb.
We found them in a tomb, and when we uncovered them, they were a Medusa person, kind of, sort of.
A Medusa.
Medusa is the word. And in the tomb with them was an elven person in stone, correct?
Mhm.
In stone.
In stone. We found them all like laying with them in stone. That's this person right here.
That sucks.
It's so sad, but it's good to have closure.
All right. Oh, she's a cutie. Wait. She's gonna look at you. She's gonna look down at Finley. She's gonna look up at you. She's gonna look down at Finley. So her mother is
It's an adoption.
adopted. I knew that there was no question in my mind that was the situation at hand.
Of course. Yes.
But there she is, and I'll be able to actually get you there. So that's not a big deal. So we found one. Who else are we looking for?
I mean, we would say Caleo. Caleo would be the next one on the list.
Do we see
The free fall that is. Free fall that is Caleo right now.
We found
Crashing
one
into
person,
a
and then we're
giant
gonna find
eagle.
all the rest of them.
Three,
right
yeah.
now.
So you imagine
Great face of falling.
this is a great place to pause, actually. This is perfect.
Okay, great.
So you imagine Caleo, and the image comes through her mind, and she touches the water again. The searching takes a bit longer this time, as they're circling and circling, and then you hear her in a voice that is not. I don't think it's a language either of you speak. What languages do you speak?
Common and Minotaur.
Common, Dwarvish, Giant, and Leonin.
Nope.
Leonin.
No, you hear her in a very deep, low voice speaking. It's not cruel, it's not mean, but it's rather demanding and very like throat heavy. Into the pool. And the response back is a similar language in turn. And then she turns to you and goes, "They don't seem to be in these realms. My men are gonna go look in other places. But it is peculiar that your friends didn't necessarily end up here. Let's try the next one. Who's the next one?
Well, one of our friends is from not from here, but in Tartarus. So
You got a friend from Tartarus?
Well, their familial line comes from.
yeah. Their name is Noemi.
Give me your fucking hand.
Oh no, that was not.
You feel.
Your goddamn hand.
Give me your hand.
Yeah.
And she'll clasp it, and you feel this small hand with so much strength and power in it. And you feel her twist a little as she realizes it's not like a lot, but she's like this. And she goes, "Oh, they should not be here. Okay." And will put their hand in and immediately speak the same language once more. And then there's a response back before she says, "I know this ain't in regulation. You're gonna go to Tartarus and you're gonna go see what's going on, you hear?" And then you just hear like this low voice come through in a very like like almost. Yet you can hear the yes, ma'am,
Yeah.
in the words.
I know a yes man when I hear it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Doesn't matter. No language barrier. The sounds of domination on somebody. Yep, that makes sense.
The sounds of yes, ma'am are universal.
Are universal.
And finally, as this is happening, you all then you hear a confirmation of, ma'am, I think you're gonna want to see this, basically. Like, you hear in the tone, like, and you see a bird flying with a very familiar, not quite yet, but a very familiar person in their arms holding a chicken. I was like, oh, there's the chicken. Okay.
Damn
The
it.
bird. Oh my god, that bird is your friend. And then you hear, whoa! And then you see a falling Caleo. Oh, there's the other one. Ah! And smack into this giant eagle. As immediately the eagle falters and the vision cuts in whoever was looking for this information seems to be hit by the tumbling.
Wait,
And
they're a cameraman. They're like looking at that, like, wait a minute, that's getting a little close.
It's a
Basically-
fucking Lucky 2 from Mario Kart.
Yeah,
It's a collateral mess.
like in 64 when you can get rid of them
Yes.
and then you only have one angle.
Yes.
So everything falls apart and then the line cuts and she goes,
Oh. That was them.
oh no, okay. And she's gonna let go of your hand and she kind of just pats it like she's sorry that she was so like mean to it.
Slow bruised.
And she goes, okay, so plan. We should go to Tartarus first.
What?
Before we do that, we have another question. Okay, so you remember I told you about Echo, and Echo is the part of Ragna that's currently not with us.
Oh yeah, and that's also what you were saying about like the other part of you.
Yeah, but I didn't get to the part where we recently discovered that that is a soul from a different reality where you guys didn't win. The Tatamaki.
We need him back.
Do I need to worry?
I've heard crazier things.
That's
nice.
oddly coming, actually, in this.
However, I did not finish my sentence.
Sorry, up. There's a button.
What the fuck?
Hey, I don't know. I didn't do it.
I didn't.
I woke up.
Okay,
with
change of fucking plans. We're gonna go sit in the fucking family room. We're gonna talk, and you're gonna explain all this.
Can we talk when our friends are?
Okay,
I think
but we
crash
are
landing.
We're
in
gonna sit in
Hadozee?
the family room like a goddamn family, and I'm gonna hear this story from your fucking lips, and then we're gonna go from there, and we're gonna talk to my husband, and then everything's gonna be hunky fucking dory.
But
You hear?
they're falling.
They're falling, right?
They'll continue to fall even if we get there.
Oh,
They're
Oh.
fine. They're
Is it
fine.
like
They,
never falling?
I didn't look. I heard my friend screaming in panic.
Okay. Do you fall and you're fine? Do you not scream when you're falling?
What? I never fall into Tartarus.
Yeah, and we know where they are now. I got connections. It's like I'm the fucking queen of the underworld or
I think
something.
your cameraman got hit. No, is he? Okay?
Oh, you think I only got one cameraman? It's fucking Leonin. Fucking get on in there. Get in the house. Come on, we're gonna talk this over.
Care about
I'm
your
sorry.
employees? It just like walks off.
Sorry.
Oh man.
And she's gonna stomp after you.
Oh, man. It's like,
And as you enter the house, and she slams the door closed,
oh, ugh.
we're in there for the night.
Okay. I love Persephone. She's so sick.
Thank you everyone for joining us. I'm so glad you liked her. We will be back, not this next Sunday, but the one after that. So we will see you then. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and yeah, bye.
Goodbye.